Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one. I'm Nick, and today I'm taking a look at Malignant, brand new James Wan film, and I mean, the guy is considered the master of modern horror, and who can blame him? I mean, he started the Saw franchise, Insidious, The Conjuring, and he might even have a franchise on his hands with this one. The way I'm going to do this review, I'm going to do it a little different since it's a brand new film, only released less than a week ago. I am going to give you non-spoiler review, like no spoilers at all. Then I'll give you my rating, and then I will spill the beans after the rating. I'm going all out with the spoilers after that. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're feeling extra generous, you can go ahead and buy me a coffee. Link to that will be in the description, as well as my Letterboxd. Let's get into this. So Malignant was released in 2021. It stars Annabelle Wallis, Maddie Hasten, George Young, and was directed by James Wan. So right off the bat, guys, I just gotta say, after I watched this movie, I did not know what to think. I didn't know if I loved it or if I just liked it. I knew it was very intriguing and interesting, but it's like, wow. It's not what I expected at all. The trailers are very deceiving. I'll just say that. I don't want to get into any spoilers like I said, but don't go in expecting anything. I honestly had to wait a few days to let the movie process because, man, was it different. And that's good. We don't want the same cookie cutter movies out, especially nowadays in modern times, because we have too much of the same. We've seen everything. So it's really nice when a director like this does something outside the box. So the basic plot to this film, without giving anything away, is we have a girl named Madison. She's in a pretty bad relationship with her boyfriend or whatever, and she's pregnant. One night they have a break-in in their house and events start unraveling. And yeah, that's basically it without giving anything away. Besides the fact that after the breaking, she starts experiencing these visions of very bad things happening to people and murders and such. And you learn to find out that those things are actually happening. So she's either a clairvoyant or she's like sees them happening in real time even though she's not there. And the scenes that happens in, it's really cool. It's almost like Nightmare on Elm Street, like how like the walls come down, tear down, and come back up for the place that she's imagining. And I thought that was real cool. And that's not a spoiler, guys. If you go on IMDb, it says that in the plot that a girl has visions of grisly murders or whatever. And yeah, that's another thing that's odd and like, why is that happening? And all these things just add up, and when they give you the evidence, give you the truth, you're like, now that I got that out of the way, I just want to say this movie is like a good mixture of 80s, like a little more cheesy horror mixed with straight up modern horror like The Conjuring and Insidious. He finds a way to really mash those two together. And right off the bat, this movie just keeps you guessing with its mystery. It does a real good job at keeping you engaged and wondering what's going to happen next and how is things going to play out. There was a few things that I kind of seen coming, but then there was a whole lot that just came out of nowhere, and I was like, what? And yeah, it was real pleasant. I mean, from a technical standpoint, this film is amazing. Like, of course, James Wan knows how to direct. He knows how to shoot really nice looking scenes. The cinematography is beautiful. He uses those nice camera shots like he does with like The Conjuring, of like going down hallways real slow and making it real atmospheric instead of just jump scares nonstop. Not to say that there isn't any jump scares, but they're used at the right moments. And yeah, the use of colors too is real nice. He likes to use the color red in this film for a few really intense scenes, and it really reminds you of like the 70s Italians films, or like Suspiria, for example. Even though that uses a couple different color palettes, red really sticks out in that film, and so does it in this film. And it just looks so beautiful when you see a red glare going down the hallway. I don't know, I just love that color in film. And every scene as they play out is full of tension. It's not just mysterious and keeping you wondering, it's also keeping you on the edge of your seat and being like, what's going to happen? And you're just waiting for either a jump scare or whatever. And like I said, they don't overdo the jump scares, so keeps you guessing. And yeah, it's a nail biter. We get a really unique killer in this film, from the looks to like the supernatural aspect to it. Not your regular slasher. Think of this more of like a Freddy Krueger style slasher, but nothing having to do with dreams, but in the sense that it's not just a regular guy chasing you with a knife. There's definitely more going on. Performances all around are excellent, whether we're talking about our lead Madison or her sister that we spent a lot of time with, or just all the detectives in that surrounding the cast. They all do a really good job. And the film has a good mix of practical effects and CGI. I feel like they don't overdo it with the CGI. There's a few scenes that stand out, but for the most part, it's done very well. And in these type of new modern horror films, it's hard to balance your practical effects and your CGI, because there's just some things that's not easy to do practically, and then there's other things that look terrible in CGI. So I'm glad he found a good balance in this film. And the deaths. Let's talk about the deaths. They're super gruesome. A lot of them we don't see happening right at the moment. Like, it might cut away, but at least they'll always show you the aftermath, and it's pretty brutal. And that works for me when you show me the aftermath. There are some kills you do see like in front of you, but yeah, there's a good mix of aftermath kills and on the spot, but they're all gruesome and all done very well. And just the concept alone is super unique and original. I've never seen a film like this, quite like this before. It honestly kind of feels like a foreign film. It kind of feels like something taken out of like Korea or something. I'm like, after you're watching it, that's what it feels like. Oh, just wait till after the rating for my spoilers. And of course, around 3/4 in the film, they hit you with a twist. And this is the big thing everybody's talking about. This is like, what the fudge? You're like, I can't believe that a major studio picture put this out with James Wan behind it. You're like, it leaves you thinking and questioning. I'm not saying it's a bad twist. I'm just saying it's going to be very divisive, I mean. It's going to split audiences. There's people that are going to hate it, and there's people that are going to absolutely love it. And it all depends on your taste. Me, after a couple days, I like it more than I hate it. But I'm not 100% sold. There is still problems. Not just with the twist, but with the film itself. It does have its own problems, but they're fairly minor issues. And if you can get past the twist, you're going to have a good time. It's just that after we do get the twist, the movie takes a completely different direction, I feel. I feel like the first half or so of this film is done very much in the way of like The Conjuring was, where it's super high in atmosphere and mood, creepy, and like I said, using the camera as a tool, going down the hall super slow, and his lighting in that. While the second half, or after the twist, the movie loses pretty much all atmosphere and mood for me. It takes away everything that's creepy and all the scariness and horror, and gives us a very cheesy B-movie style last act, or last third of the film. And that's why I said some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. It's really reminiscent of the old 80s films, but it's weird being mixed with the modern style of like The Conjuring and Insidious. This is smushed into one film, but they're separated by this twist. Then we get the final resolution, how everything plays out. At the very end, I felt it was fairly weak how they wrapped things up, while I found the rest of the movie was super interesting and engaging. I felt they kind of dropped the ball at the very end, kind of like they did with A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, how that film is amazing right up till the end there. It's like, the last 5-10 minutes kind of screwed her up. And I kind of feel like that's what happened with this film, even though this film is nowhere as near as good as the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I was just using that as an example. But yeah, I don't think they stuck the landing with that ending. That's what bothers me more. Not so much the crazy twist, but it's just how everything gets resolved. So guys, I'm going to end it there for my spoiler-free review. I'm going to give you my rating, and then I'm going to give you a bunch of spoilers after that. So after my rating, leave this review if you have not seen this film, because you have to check it out for yourself. Whether you're not into certain things in horror or not, this has to be experienced at least once, just to see what the hell everybody's talking about, because it is a mind... It messes your mind. It's a mind blender. So if I'm going to have to go ahead and rate this film, I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a very good, modern, supernatural slasher, if you will. And I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it, but it isn't without its issues. But I feel like it does a lot more right than it does wrong. So there you have it, guys. That's my spoiler-free review for Malignant. Drop the comments down below on what you think. Are you excited for this movie? Have you seen it? And yeah, let me know down below. But now let's get into the spoilers, guys. And I don't have a whole lot of spoilers to talk about. The main thing is the twist in the killer. So let's talk about that. So, spoiler, guys, the twist in this movie is that the main girl has this friggin... The villain is on her back. It's like, what? It's kind of cringeworthy, but kind of awesome. I have so many emotions about it. Like, I don't know what to think. Even after a day or two of processing this, like I said, I'm still not really sure how I feel, but I think I like it. Don't love it, but I think I like it. It's just so weird and out of the box and ambitious. I can't believe James Wan made this, to be honest. Like, we know he's a man of twists with, like, the original Saw with the... whatever, I'm not going to get into another spoiler there, but you guys know the twist and that. So I was expecting something more along those lines when I heard people talking about a twist, but this is, like, completely left field, way out there. He looks ridiculous, I'll say that. It's like if Basket Case was a fully grown man's slasher. Like, what? Like... Oh my god, it's weird. And it don't explain a whole lot, but we're made to believe it was like her imaginary friend the whole film, and then we realize it's like a conjoined twin, even though they explain it as like a tumor with bones and such. It's like, you should have just said it was a conjoined twin. They kind of hint at that, but then they're saying like, no, it's just a tumor with bones and that, and he's like a parasite leeching off of this girl. And he can literally like control her brain and make her see things and pretty much turn her brain off while he's working the body. And it's just so goddamn weird, guys. And I'm not sure why he can like kind of like teleport and stuff, and he uses electricity and can talk over like radios and through static and broadcasts. I don't really understand that part. Maybe it's because they experimented on him and her so much when they were younger, or was that all in her head? I don't know. That's the only part I found kind of confusing, and I feel like they don't explain very good. But maybe I'll catch it on rewatch. I've only seen this once, and it's definitely got me wanting to rewatch it. And it's pretty stupid, I found, how they said they took off most of what they could of him, but the head part was attached to the brain, so they couldn't get rid of that because they were scared of hurting her. So they put it in her skull and close it off. Like, how do you even do that? You don't even have enough room in your skull to put like another head or a face. I found that part was kind of ridiculous and like too much of a B-movie style for this film. Especially how the first half is so serious and grounded and creepy, and then it is a total shift to like super B-movie at the end. Cheesy, campy. The skull thing just doesn't work for me. And same goes how I was saying how the final defeat of the girl at the very end, how I found that was cheap and kind of lame. Well, it's pretty much like her just saying, I'm taking back the body. I got control. And it's like, that's all you had to do? This feels like a really weak way to wrap up the story. And especially how, like, her skull, like, closes off again on its own. It's like, what? So stupid. But besides that, the rest of the movie was pretty awesome, and like I said, I was completely hooked from start to finish. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, guys. It's definitely one that people are going to be talking about for a long time. It's not my personal favorite James Wan movie, but I don't think it's his worst either. Like, I'm almost happy they didn't go down the complete Conjuring route, because that's what I kind of felt like it was going to do the first half of the film. But what we did get is maybe too much the other way. Like, there got to be a balance. So there you have it, guys. That's all I'm gonna get into today with this film. It's a crazy one, and I highly recommend you check it out for yourself. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching.